Well, I want to say hello and welcome, Erik Zobler, to our booth here at Ehrlund.
Happy to be here.
We're glad that you are here.
Thank you.
And well, Erik, Grammy winner, mixer for mixer, and
try, yes. Thank
yeah,
you.
and you produce a lot in engineering.
Yes.
Tell us a little about what you do.
Well, it's been a long career, well over 40 years, and started out as a mastering engineer, and then went into the studio. And well, I first started playing music. That was my first thing, and then I playing music, went into the studio, started working with bands in the studio, became a recording engineer, moved to Los Angeles, and that's what I've been doing, recording and producing.
Yeah,
making
recording
music
and producing a lot of
40 years,
albums.
Yeah, 45 years or something. A lot of albums. So many, I don't, it's like over 200 somewhere. I lost count.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's long.
Yeah, someone came up to me on the floor today and said, "You remember the project we did? You did all the horns and we cut this great album." It's about 30 years ago, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I remember that one."
You remember? Well, is this something that you really remember from producing some album that is maybe warm for the heart, or?
Is the one that I remember? Sure, there's quite a few that were memorable. I got to work with Sarabande, and she was, a singer icon. That was a fun record. I got to work with Miles Davis, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I read about all the artists that you've been working with. It's impressive.
Yeah, and of course, I can't not talk about the person I worked with for 34 years. This is George Duke. His name is George Duke. He was a keyboard player, producer, and on his own, an artist. And I did everything for him, from recording, mixing, mastering, and live sound as well for him. And I've always been working on other projects on my own, where I produce other artists as well.
That's impressive. I'm so glad that you're here. But we're going to talk a little about the Airlin microphones.
We are, yes.
You've been trying them.
Yes, I have.
You have?
There's a project that I'm working on right now that I use them extensively on for quite a few different instruments.
Tell us.
We started with the drums, of course,
yes.
And used them, all of the mics, all of the different mics in different ways on the drums, and also on guitars and amplifiers as well. Piano also. So I've pretty much covered quite a few different sources, which is important when you're learning about a new microphone, the sound signature of a microphone. You need to listen to different sources on it. You listen to how it translates different instruments.
Yeah, I understand that. What's your first impression of the Airlin microphones?
Well, the first impression I had when I picked it up, the microphone is very light, and so that really isn't much of an impression, but it's just light. It's like, wow, you look at it and then you see the triangular diaphragm and you go, I have never seen anything like this before. So my first impression was, I want to see what this sounds like, because no one has ever done a diaphragm like that. And I have always been interested in technology that's forward-thinking and looking for new ways to do things. I mean, when you think about everything that we have today, like, we don't make phone calls like this anymore,
No, we don't.
Our phones are more powerful computers than what they used to put us on the moon, and we have them in our hands. And what I don't understand is how microphone technology has not really advanced in the last 60 years. I mean, it has, but there's been no really major breakthroughs as far as I know. And I feel like the Airlin product is pushing the envelope of what we've known and just searching for different answers or different ways to do things. And I like that. That appeals to me. And in addition to that, I find that your microphones, they have a unique sound. They don't sound quite like anything else. And I like that too, because as an engineer producer, I need as many different paintbrushes. I'm not going to paint a painting with one paintbrush. I'm going to, take a small paintbrush for this or a big paintbrush for this. Same thing with microphones. And Airlin is a unique product that has its own signature sound, and I like it.
It sounds amazing. It sounds fantastic for us. Well, you told us a little bit how you use the mics, for drums and guitars and.
Well, I use them pretty much standard way that most people use them. I actually put them in the same positions that I normally put most of the microphones, especially for drums. I've recorded a lot of drummers in my day, and drummers always are happy with the drum sounds that I get. And I found the mics to be, I didn't have to do very much to them to be happy with the sound. A little bit of EQ maybe on the bass drum, and their microphones are very flat and very extended, so they allow you to do whatever you want to them to get what you're looking for. But the transient response of the microphones is great. So I use them on drums. It's great for drums. On acoustic guitar, my first impression of using it on acoustic guitar was, wow, that sounds great. I don't have to do anything to it. I just push up. There are certain times in the studio when you go into the studio to work and you put out a microphone and someone's playing or something's happening, you turn up the fader, and you go, oh god, I got a lot of work to do. Which could mean a lot of different things. You have to change the mic, change the position, change the player, change the song, go back to bed, and have another coffee.
Exactly.
Something has to happen. But the times when you go in and you push up the fader and you just go, oh, that sounds great. Next. You just move on to the next thing you do. Great, that's done. Next, that sounds fantastic.